There you go.
All right, guys, we are live on Facebook. It's another Thursday's Top Tips in Real Estate, and we've got some amazing local professionals on here with us like we do every week, and they share with you guys some amazing tips in real estate. We always have a new topic every week, and this week is relocation. So we all know that a lot of people are relocating here to our little pocket of Florida, and it's a very desired place. So we're going to kind of delve into that and like talk about relocation in general. So each week we have local realtors and local lenders come on and share with you guys just their side of the real estate industry and the topic that we're talking about. So stay tuned because we'll go into the topic and then they'll give you their number one top tip of the week, and then we'll do an announcements portion where you'll be able to hear anything upcoming that they might have going on right now. So without further ado, first up we have Codi with Bourgeois Real Estate Group. I'm going to spotlight your video, Codi.
Am I up first?
And you're up first.
All right, let me share my screen here. Can you see it?
Yep, it's loaded. There we go.
All right, so this is Codi. Oh, wait. There we go. Oh, wait. What am I doing here? There we go. All right, so it's Codi with Bourgeois Real Estate Group. So as far as relocating, the first thing that we need to find out is, you know, their budget, what they can afford. So we have to find out, that'll give us a starting point anyway. We'll find out, you know, what they plan on doing when they get here. Are they gonna have employment? They're gonna have their own business? Because, you know, unless they're paying cash, and this is true of both, you know, buying a property and renting, lenders want to see income going forward as well. So we have to make sure that there's going to be active income when they get here. You know, that way, once we find out what they qualify for, what they've gotten already, we can find them what they're looking for. We also want to ask about schools. Most people that I deal with, they have children. So we want to make sure that they're in the area, you know, with a school district that they're happy with. You know, we send them some information about the schools in the area. And we use that as well to pick their dream home. There's also a website that the school district has where you can type in the address and it'll tell you what schools are in that zone that their kids would be zoned to. So that also helps. And then you want to find out what they like to do, you know, what their hobbies are, and try to get them, you know, in an area that's close to the things that they like to do. You know, once we have all that information, we can find them, you know, a house that fits their needs and get the whole process going. And that would be my shoot.
Awesome. That was great, Codi. Thank you. All righty. So next up, we have Katey Bourgeois. Highlighting your screen now.
Hey, it's Katey Bourgeois with the Bourgeois Real Estate Group. It's great to see you all again today. Can you see my screen? Give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So relocating to the Treasure Coast. We at the Bourgeois Real Estate Group, whenever we identify someone who's moving to our area, we want to give them a relocation packet. You know, it's, of course, Codi went over some great information. We want to know where you're going to work. We have resources for that. Where you want to play and where you want to send your kids to school. So in portion of getting that information from you, we have a resource for our relocation buyers that are coming from, you know, areas like the Northeast or California or Texas. And part of that is the activities and attractions in our area. We have a list of all of the museums, art galleries, theaters, just, areas of interest, and then the parks, the beaches. And of course I had to throw in the local craft breweries. There's something here for everyone. And, speaking to income and employment, we have some big hitters as far as employers in Martin County. And we have a list here. Martin Health System is now Cleveland Clinic, which is now even bigger than it was at the 3120 employees. It's even bigger now. So we have the top 10 employers here. So if someone's coming to the area and they're going to leave their job and come to the area and anticipate working, at one of our employers, we provide them with that information. We have a lot of events around Martin County and St. Lucie County. There's a list of some popular events. We have a lot of green markets in the normal days, aside from COVID-19 time. The Stewart area has been awarded, or Martin County and St. Lucie County are both unique because we're a seaside town. We're a lot of waterfront activities, and we've been actually awarded quite a bit with America's Happiest Seaside Town, one of the 9th most beautiful small towns in America. The list goes on and on for Martin and for St. Lucie County. Our office is located in Palm City, so I like to focus on Martin County for the most part. So kind of, with that in mind, whatever your lifestyle and what activities you like to do beyond work and family, there's really something for everyone on the Treasure Coast. And I'm sure some of our other contributors will talk about some of the specific activities, and we'll round it out with some other details as they come along. So that's kind of an overview from the perspective of the Bourgeois Real Estate Group. We provide a really nice packet of an overview of our Treasure Coast, and then we go from there.
Awesome. Love that. Great little presentation.
Thank you.
All righty. So then next we have Peter. Go ahead, spotlight you, Peter.
Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Peter Negron. I'm with the Hunt Group, powered by Keller Williams. Now, I want to just go and say, Katey, thank you for bringing up all those great jobs that we have in the area. I actually worked for 2 of those companies. Both Triumph and Armalini are very, very good companies to work for, solid, and they have really good benefits. So to move on, what I'm going to touch on really is the amount of people that are moving to Florida right now. So if I could just share my screen really quick. Now, which one do I want to share? 1 second, guys. All right, here we go. So, ooh, that's the wrong one. All right, can you guys see this?
We can.
Moving
You see the Facebook login right now.
Is that the Facebook login? Oh,
Yeah.
I apologize.
Not okay. I'll never forgive you, Peter. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, here we go. How about that?
How about them apples? Love it. Can see it. Great.
All right, perfect. So moving to Florida right now, we have nearly 1,000 people moving to Florida every single day. 1,000 people every day, according to the DMV. So what does that really mean to the people that are moving from out of state and moving to this state? Well, first of all, it seems like everybody is thinking about getting their driver's license first and foremost, but maybe they are thinking about things that maybe they should be getting together, especially if they're trying to purchase a home. So if you come from out of state, yes, both Katey and Codi touched on that you're gonna have to show some kind of proof of income once you get here. That's one thing. Now, if you did sell a home prior to coming here, you're also gonna have to also make sure that you have all documentation and physical records of the purchase so that you can show that you have a down payment for your next home. So maybe you don't have to have the proof of employment. You have an all cash buy at hand, but they're still going to need proof. So make sure you keep all that paperwork when you go from one place to another. It's very important to keep track of that. A lot of people lose a lot of things during a move, and that's one of those things you definitely do not want to lose. So pay attention to things like that and make sure that you start looking for your agent before you move, because your agent can be doing things possibly in the background for you before you get here that you don't really have to worry about. That way you can focus your energy on just moving your place from one place to another. So one, make sure you take care of that paperwork. Two, make sure you get in touch with your real estate professional prior to the move so that they can help you out with a lot of these actions before you get here. I had another statistic here, and this was just something that holds near and dear to my heart because I'm from New York. I have a lot of family in New York, and I do have some people calling me and asking me questions about, you know, moving from New York to Florida. So it says here in Forbes that 270 people per day are moving from New York to Florida. That's nearly 30% of the 1,000 people that are moving here are from New York. So with that said, you guys in particular may have your restrictions still going on and things like that on a day-to-day basis. But in order for you to get your process started, what you can do now is just start getting a hold of those real estate agents down in the areas that you're looking to move to. And, you know, make sure that you shop around and figure out what part of Florida you want to be in also, because going from New York to Florida can be a really drastic change. The last thing you want to be doing is ripping off a Band-Aid when you're already having a lot of things going on in your life. So make sure that you do your due diligence, do some reading up on the different areas, and figure out a local realtor that can help you out in those areas. And that's all I have for now.
Are we on me? I didn't hear you give the go out on the do your normal there, Lucy. So I'm assuming I'm here. If I'm not supposed to be in line here, Lucy, stop me. But Tony Garcia with CrossCountry Mortgage, wanted to speak on the lending side. I unfortunately, as the lender, we have the fun part of working all the other stuff like Codi, Katey, and Peter stated there, as far as what's going to be needed, what we're looking for to make things happen on our end. So with relocating, everybody touched on some solid points. When it comes to qualifying for a loan, though, if you're not paying cash with relocation, obviously as a lender getting a mortgage, we need to see that income, stability of income, as well as continuance of that income. So with that being said, there's a couple different things that actually people relocate here for. One, they get a job transfer or an offer of a new job down here for employment. So we can use an offer letter. All depends on when the start date is. So there's a couple things with that. So if you get the offer letter, we definitely can qualify using it, but it must be fully executed offer letter showing what you're going to make, having a start date set. That start date typically will want to be within 60 days of when you close. With the employer signatures, your signatures, and any contingencies as far as, you know, background checks, anything like that, all those items will need to be completed if you do have an offer letter. If you are seeking employment and don't have employment lined up yet and are trying to purchase before you get down here, you're going to run into a scenario there where, yes, we can qualify you off your current income. However, you would not be able to purchase the home as a primary residence. We would have to kind of flip-flop things and look at it as a second home, to where you would need to qualify with your current home or current rent that you have, as well as the new mortgage payment. And with that, typically it's going to have 10% down payment required instead of possibly some of your 3.5% or 5% down payment programs. So a couple things to think of there. Another thing in the day and age we're living as well, this has become common as well, is people working remotely. So if you work remote already and can work from anywhere, It's just simply we'll need to verify that you're able to work remote, that it's not an issue with your employer, and that your job will continue with your new primary being here in Florida. So those are kind of the things to look at when you're on the lending side. So, you know, it comes a little tricky. Peter brought up a great point of speak with a lender or speak with a realtor before you get down here. Same thing with a lender, just so you can kind of see what steps you need to take to have an order and in place before you make that next step of even looking at homes and everything else. So just again, as always, be prepared, do your due diligence up front so you are ready and you're speaking with a professional that's there to help you do so. And the lastly is, like Peter said, it's area. New York, no, taxes can be high there. I'll be honest, I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. I relocated down here I relocated to West Palm roughly 6 years ago, but I've been up here in the Treasure Coast for about 4 now, 3.5, 4. And with that, New York, I know taxes are high, insurance is lower. However, Cleveland, Ohio, taxes are much lower and homeowners insurance is much lower. Be prepared and know what you're getting into, as well as some of those other things that are going to affect your mortgage payment, things like that. So that's truly all I have for now. Is just kind of be prepared, speak with somebody, and have yourself set up for success for when you get here.
Awesome. Those are some great tips, Tony. Sorry, yes, I was muted, but thank you for taking the lead and knowing where you were. So I appreciate you. Those are amazing tips, and thank you for touching on the fact of, you know, the employment coming down here, because I think that that's the biggest thing, right? You know, people don't know, like, oh, well, obviously I'm not gonna have a job going down there. So we're gonna go to Dana now, which is also on the lending side, and see what she has to add to that. Spotlighting you now.
Thank you. Hi, Dana Mainenti, Guaranteed Rate Affinity. I have nothing to add because Tony said it all. No, just kidding. So all of those points, you know, when somebody talks about relocating, it's very exciting, but on the lending side, we do cringe a little because the only way that a loan can be possible is with income. And trying to move and then finding a job is great if you are not applying for a mortgage. And we do all of those verifications multiple times throughout the process. So we do appreciate you being upfront. We can get the ball rolling with an offer letter. So if you are looking for, you know, a job, it's great to have the interview process done, have the job accepted, and once your employment is approved, ask them for an offer letter and we can get the ball rolling. And then we want you to have also received a paycheck before we close, so that you are actively working, and we will verify employment with that employer. But key part of your mortgage is income. So, you know, as a lender, we just want you to be able to pay your bills. And the only way to pay your bills is if you're transferring and your income is coming with you. So that's just my point there. But as far as our area, it's the best in the country. And we are the best professionals that are around. And I would highly encourage you to come to the Treasure Coast. Thank you.
It looks like we may have lost Lucy.
Oh, okay.
So
Let's put Tony in charge.
thank you, Dana. You always look fabulous and bringing great information to the table. I think that next up we had Alannah to weigh in. Do you want to go ahead, Alannah, until Lucy comes back?
Oh, absolutely. We're gonna get to watch Dana's beautiful face though, because I don't have the power.
Peter is actually the co-host now. Peter, can you control it?
No, I've got it. I'm back. You guys see me?
Wonderful. Hey, Luz.
Oh my gosh, my internet just crashed. And I was like,
We're holding the fort for you, girlfriend, but we're ready for you.
But we're still live, so that's good. I was like, what about the live? So, all right, that's good. So yes, you are up, Alannah, so I will highlight you now. So you got the floor.
Wonderful. Hi, everybody. This is Alannah. I'm with the Dean's List group at eXp Realty. I'm going to share my screen really quickly here. This is my first around with this new, oh, you know what? It's not going to work with the new laptop till I've set it up. No problem. Forget that. So you're just going to have to stare at me. Sorry, folks.
Darn.
I love all the professionals that preceded me. You guys brought up some fantastic points, and they all tie in with the direction that I was going to take this conversation, which encompasses, you know, you having a relationship already down here working on your behalf before you've set foot in our state is imperative. You don't know unless you've already been here if this is the right fit for you. And if we know what you're looking for and you're sharing with us what you're envisioning as your next chapter here in Florida, we can advise you expertly on whether our area is the perfect fit for you or what other area within Florida might be a better fit. And not only that, but we pride ourselves on having connections all over, inside the state, outside the state. So if there's a need to get you transferred to the West Coast, because for whatever reason that's a better fit, then we can provide that resource and make sure that you're getting into good hands. And you're, you know, I wax poetic about it all the time, but the team that you put together to work with you and serve you is the difference between a very challenging deal and a really great deal. And you smiling at the end is always our goal. So if we know what you're envisioning when you get here, we can tell you whether the Treasure Coast is going to be a great fit. I love what you put together, Katey, with the relocation package and just highlighting some of those beautiful features that really make the Treasure Coast pop. We are, you know, a greatly kept secret here, and we're just starting to get the kind of attention where we are really being flocked to. So I want to touch really quickly on a couple of things that out-of-state buyers can expect when they jump into the market here, whether it's physically or whether it's by proxy through a professional. First things first, have your finances in order, because when we get to the scenario where I'm on the ground running and we're looking at properties for you, I hate being the one who has to tell you we need to put in an offer now. They have multiple offers on the table already. And that's a scenario that I'm seeing a lot of, and I am out on the ground all the time, and I am seeing so many multiple offer situations. And so you not having your finances prepared and having that lender and having that realtor both working for you, that makes it a catch-22 when we find your perfect home. And that is not the news that I want to deliver. I want to tell you, we have everything in place. We've got our pre-approval. Thank you so much for getting that to us. Insert name of lender, Tony, Dana. So, you know, there's so many opportunities to pull value before you're even physically here. And so you can expect to have a multiple offer situation. Don't expect that lowballing around here is a good fit right now. That is, you know, something that any professional, if you ask them, what is the market currently doing? That is my best advice, because it does changes all the time, but it's our job to be very aware of those trends. So if we're advising you that, you know, lowballing is not going to be a great fit for this deal, and here's why, I would implore you to just ask a lot of questions and have confidence in the professionals that are serving you, because ultimately we'll write as many offers as we need to, but it gives me no pleasure to write 6 offers when I could have written 2. So let us help you, let us advise you, trust us, and just really just get yourself a team before you set foot here.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And I'm sure everybody else can agree.
Oh yeah.
Yes, no. So those, you guys all brought up some amazing points as always. I never expect anything less from you guys. So now we're going to kind of go into like a discussion portion, because I always like to give you guys the option to speak, and then we can kind of like bounce ideas off of each other. And I kind of want to throw something out there about relocation, because I feel like a lot of people that have grown up here, because for instance, me, I've born and raised here, so we can even do a show of hands, like compared. I think we have more. So we're 3 from here, and then everyone else is relocated here from somewhere, right? So it's like, that's kind of shows like how many people relocate to our area right there. And I think we actually have more locals on here than
New York City.
So I want to kind of branch, because I feel like a lot of people think that we have an older community here. which we do. We have an older community, but there's a lot of young families that are moving here too. So I want to open up that discussion about like the young families and the older family or older communities, and talk about just like how that balances in our area. So anybody can go.
Well,
I love
well, I know personally, it could be kind of a culture shock when you first move here for some people. But honestly, this is probably like the best medium that you can get if you're moving from like a big city life or a more rural life into a big city. I mean, Port St. Lucie is perfect for that. You know, there's a little bit of everything. And not only that, we're driving distance from everything. So I've always, you know, growing up, watching this place grow, I always thought that it was a really small city, but I definitely could not say that now. It's picked up quite a bit, and it would be worth, even if you were just trying to get used to a big city and wanted to start off somewhere a little bit different, or if you wanted to just get away from the big city and put yourself in a place that just wasn't too country also. So
It's a stepping stone in either direction.
there you go.
It absolutely is. And it's funny, we both Martin County and St. Lucie County, which, you know, make up the bulk of the Treasure Coast here, we both have aspects that we're very, very proud of. Martin County in particular is very proud of our schools. We've got amazing schools and just such dedicated professionals in the teaching realm. And we also, in St. Lucie, we have the ability for so much growth, and the plans and trajectory for the next 5 to 10 years for St. Lucie County is enormous. And so anybody who's curious and, you know, isn't ready to make a move right now, but wants to get in the know for what those projected growth plans are, I encourage you, get online and check it out, because there is so much data out there showing how this is designed to be developed while still not getting too big. You know, no disrespect to big cities, but we don't want to be Orlando, and we definitely don't want to be Palm Beach. We love being the Treasure Coast because we have a very unique flair here.
Definitely. Go ahead, Katey.
So Alannah hit on a great point that we're not Palm Beach, we're not Orlando, but we're in a unique, literally a unique position where we are halfway between Orlando and Miami. So for those individuals who are attracted to a bustling city of some sort, we're within driving distance. You could go to Orlando to Miami in the same day and have activities in both of those big cities on the north and to the south of us. There are Martin, St. Lucie, North Palm Beach, up to Indian River County, the Treasure Coast. Oh my goodness. I love when the phone rings. I really do. That's business. Pardon the phone's ringing. Getting back to my point, there's something for everyone in this area. And specifically for young people, we have a tremendous series of groups specific to young professionals. We have the young professionals of Martin County, Treasure Coast young professionals, and there's a St. Lucie version in Indian River. And then there's also industry-specific young professional groups where you can network with like-minded individuals. So there literally is something for everyone in our area. Growing up here, I thought this place was old. And
I was just about to say the same thing, Katey.
I mean, I got into all sorts of trouble, you know, skateboarding and, you know, punk rocking, because there wasn't much to do at the time. But now growing up in the community, I did want to move away, but I'm glad that I didn't, because I can't see myself living anywhere else but this area, and having the ties and the friendships and relationships in this area. And that too is unique as well. Like, our community is very unique in that it supports itself, meaning the residents of this community support so many efforts to give back into the community. We have a tremendous amount of charities and functions, and Martin, St. Lucie are givers. And we support we've supported our own hospital system since its inception up until recently. We have, every weekend in normal times, there's some sort of charity event happening, and there's people giving and volunteering of their time and giving of, their money as well. So there is a lot to do for young people. You just need to, broaden up a little bit, do some research and get into something that interests you. There's a group board, and if there isn't, you can start one.
Absolutely. No, and I felt that exact same way, Katey, and I tried to leave here and then I ended up getting this job and staying. But I was very thankful, and I've in all of the marketing positions that I've been in, I've grown and seen so much of the community that I never knew was there before. And that's why I'm so involved with the young professionals of Martin County too, because I relate to that. I'm like, I didn't know you guys existed. Like,
So the young professionals of Martin County, I'm one of the OGs. I'm one of the original members from way back in the day. And I have the opportunity to come back now as a potential employer for those young people to come into the real estate business or related industries and get them connected with great jobs.
absolutely. Go ahead, Dana.
So I come from New Jersey, the Northeast, and we are not known for our friendliness and pleasantries. And when I first got down here and everybody was waving at me, I thought that they were all insane. And but now I truly appreciate all of the sense of community here. And as a person working and networking, I feel like I've networked in several different counties, and I feel like this is the area that's the most welcoming. You know, they're really down to earth, but they still really like to enjoy family. They like to enjoy their downtime. So I feel that it is the most well-rounded. And even when I go back up to New Jersey and try and bring my friendly nature, it is denied. And I just can't wait to get back down to my hood in Florida.
Oh, that was great.
That was
It's great to
great.
get that Northeastern perspective. That must be what people come here for, because we get so many people from the Northeast here.
So
Go ahead,
I mean,
Cody.
I lived in New York and Chicago. And I can tell you, most people that want to move here, there's something about this area that they like. They've been here before. And especially this area, you know, even though they might be trying to get away from the big city, we're still right in the middle of the big cities. So they can come here, relax, and still go do their thing in the big cities. Not to mention the taxes that they'll be escaping. So this is going to be like a real financial benefit to them coming here. So to me, well, you know, when I got here, it was a culture shock for me as well. The friendliness, the everybody together, and I'm like, you know, you don't see this up north. So and then, you know, I have a daughter that lives in New Jersey, so I frequent New Jersey a lot, and I can agree with what Dana's talking about. And so they all want to come down here. So yeah, I mean, I think that this would be the perfect area. It's great to raise kids in. It's a lot slower than that fast life up north. So this is the spot if you guys want to come here.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing area. Go ahead, Alannah, or I'll let Tony speak because he hasn't spoken to the point yet.
So I just want to, I'll chime in because I have a little different perspective. So not everybody coming from the hustle and bustle where people are not polite and everything else. So I'm from the Midwest, Cleveland, Ohio. I first came down where I worked out of. It was actually North Broward or North Dade, South Broward. So it was and I'm not gonna lie, I'm Cuban. My dad was born in Cuba, raised in Miami, but we just came down here for vacation. So I fell in love. And when my wife and I said, I need to pack up and move. I need the beach. I'm sick of lake effect snow in Cleveland, Ohio. I need out. Let's go. So we went further south. However, being in Cleveland, Midwest hospitality, it is. Sorry, Dana, that you didn't get the waves when you were living there, everything else. However, we wave, we hold doors, we say good morning. When I first moved down here, it was very awkward when I moved south because I'd be going to the gym in the morning, speaking to anybody. Somebody's walking out the door. Hey, how you doing? Good morning. I get looked like I was a fool. And I'm like, man, this is different. Don't really know what that's about. But I continued doing it. It actually became like a game to me. However, being here for 2 years, I got out a little more, started exploring, and not gonna lie, I know coming from the big city like they're explaining, coming down has been perfect. It also has been for me coming from a different perspective where you do have that hospitality and things going on. it's the perfect mix. So I still have, it still feels like home to me being back home. I just got back home actually 2 days ago from Ohio, was there for like 9 days, and coming back, it's the same feel, except I have beach and I don't have to worry about snow. So I think it works. Like I think it was Peter that said earlier, it's a perfect mix of both. Wherever you're coming from, it does. I think it fits almost everybody and anybody, plain and simple.
Yeah, and I want to mention that we have a lot of, in Port St. Lucie specifically, I think it was Alannah who mentioned there was so much room to grow in Port St. Lucie, and it has grown. I mean, I remember so much that wasn't there. I mean, tradition, there were some roads that weren't there, bridges that weren't there, you know. I just discovered that whole like little pineapple thing underneath the bridge. I was like, I didn't even know that was there. But I want to actually share my screen really quick, because there's a website that some of you might know. It's called datausa.io, and it's a great resource. So this website, you can put in any place in the US, and it will show you census numbers. So it's a great resource. You can compare different places, like your area. You can see, like just here, you can see the median household population of Port St. Lucie, the growth rates, the median property values. It'll even tell you like what the different, well, now it's like COVID related now because of COVID. But you can look at, normally with it, you can look at the different jobs that are most popular in this area, and it's really got some great, right here it says COVID, economy, health, diversity, education, housing and living. So there's a lot of different options on here. And what I wanted to, well, let's see if I did the right one, research the right place, because I want to look up St. Lucie County. Has 321,000 people, right? So Fort Lauderdale has 177,000. So we've got so many people here, but this is the difference, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen. The difference is that in Port St. Lucie, if you look at a map of Port St. Lucie, it's all houses. It's all houses. You're driving down roads and it's like you're just neighborhood after neighborhood after neighborhood. So there's a lot of people that live there, work here, but then some people that also commute down to West Palm or commute to other places. So it's a lot more family generated, I guess. It's just like, it's more family based. And we have like these little pockets of areas where you can go, like Tradition or downtown Stewart or downtown Jensen and these different areas, but it's a lot different. Yes, we have a lot of people here, but it's so much different than that city life. We don't have huge skyscrapers and like these huge things. It's just completely different vibe, I guess I could say. So I just wanted to show those numbers because there's so many people. It's grown so much. I remember there was almost, when I was first in when I was in college and I found out about datausa.io for like research purposes, I remember we were almost to where Fort Lauderdale was in the amount of people, and like now we're like way past it. So it's crazy how much it's grown, and it's been kind of a pleasure to see it grow. And I always ask people like, where are you from? Like, how did you get here? And that's one thing I wanted to bring up too, is almost 98% of people, since I'm born and raised in Jensen, I always ask like, how did you find out about here? What brought you here? And it's always, I had a friend that lived here and I visited them and I loved the area and I moved here, or they had family and they visited, same reason. And like, that's how they got connected here, because they had a friend that was here. Because it's not like you're researching, oh yeah, you know, Port St. Lucie, Florida, and you're just like, yep, that's where I want to go. Like, it's like you have to, you know, someone who knows someone who's here. So.
No, and it's funny you say that because it's exactly how I got here. My mom remarried. We were living down in Palm Beach. I was a Delray kid, and we ended up moving up here as a result of our family expanding. And they wanted a little quieter, little safer place that mom was secure, having us out till the street lights came on. And I really got to live the throwback childhood, which was a lot of fun for me here. And it's crazy how much there was to do. You know, we show up, the perspective as a kid is, oh my God, there's nothing to do here. But the older I get, the more I discover, kind of like Lucie had mentioned, just how much there really is. And, you know, there's no shortage of obviously water activities being on the East Coast. But people don't realize how rural we are when you go 20 minutes west. 20 minutes inland, you can be on four-wheelers. You can be, you know, riding the dunes. You can be doing agriculture. You could be raising horses and farming. And we have so much going on here that you can always find somebody who has a heart for the same thing you do here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have like a lot of golfing communities too. Like there's so many different diverse atmospheres here. And one of the things when COVID's not going on, there is art festivals that happen. Like there's like a whole time of year, like February is like filled every weekend with art festivals, which I love art. There's seafood festivals, there's Wing Fest, there's Beer Fest. Katey helps run one of the beer fests normally in tradition.
Brew festival.
Yes, brew fest. Sorry.
The food truck explosions that they have.
Food trucks, so many things. And I mean, I love food, so I'll be anywhere with it. So yeah, it is such a pleasure just to be in this area and see it grow. Does anyone else have anything else to add before we move on to the number one top tip of the week? Okay. All right, so we will go to the top tips of the week now. This is our second portion of this. So Codi, you're up first. What's your top tip?
My top tip would be if you are in the market to take your pick of any one of the professionals on this panel right here, because they know best.
Absolutely.
But also, I want to touch on what we were talking about earlier with the multiple offer situation. Like lately, people have been literally fighting over houses here. So if you are serious about buying, renting, whatever, you have to really stick with the notion that time is of the essence, because it's crazy trying to get in somewhere right now. So do your due diligence and make it happen.
Awesome advice, Codi. Katey, you're up.
I love that Codi said, make it happen. I've championed that phrase for a long time. I can remember saying that for a long time. So I would say my top tip today is, like many of the others on the call talked about, do your research. You know, get connected with some eyeballs and some experts on the ground wherever you want to be in the state of Florida. And if you can't find someone or a good resource, call one of us. We have, through our networks of realtors and young professionals and women's council, on and on and on. We have contacts all over the state of Florida and beyond. If you want to go to Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, you know, we probably know someone in that county, or we can get you connected with a professional. So do your research and ask good questions, I would say. You ask good questions. When you ask better questions, you get better answers.
I like that.
I love that, Katey.
Peter, you're up.
All right, my name is Peter Negron. I'm with the Hunt Group, powered by Keller Williams. My top tip of the week is gonna have to be, if you are out there searching for homes without a real estate professional, do not fall in love with any of those homes, because until you speak to one of us, you don't even know if that home is available. And I'm going to tell you, that's the market that we're in right now. We're in the market where you could be looking at something one week, and if you're not prepared, ready, and set to go, that house will be gone. And with that said, I have a very beautiful and available home right now on the market, and it's right here in Tradition, very close to dog parks, very close to Publix, and very close to 95. So if anybody has any questions regarding this home here at 10579 Southwest Cam Run in Port St. Lucie, please reach out. And that is my top tip.
How much? How much?
$249.9, guys. $249.9.
Woohoo!
Woo woo. All righty, Tony, you're up.
So top tip of the day would be don't overextend yourself. So especially with what's going on right now, obviously we know, you know, where our market is, we're all crushing it. We know that, and it's great to see. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are not in the same scenario, and a lot of industries that aren't. So when you are looking to be pre-approved, I'll be honest, I speak to clients every day, and it's, what's the max I'm approved for? What's the max amount I can? Well, just because you're approved for that is not going to set you up for success down the road and financial stability. So don't overextend yourself. Taxes, insurance, unfortunately, they're always likely to go up. It's just, it is what it is, nature of the beast. So you need to prepare for those things. And I hate to say it, this issue with COVID right now, a lot of people are in financial distress, and a lot of it is not, you know, necessarily due to overextending themselves on mortgage payment itself, but overextending yourself on everything. So just try to do your best to stay within a comfortable thing to where you are not overextending yourself. So when something like this unfortunately does happen, which it can, you're not put in that situation, because, you know, if it's the mortgage side of it, foreclosures could happen, and you just don't want to put yourself in that position. So the only way to do that is before you purchase, think about those things. I know myself, I'm sure Dana and every other lender on here speaks to their clients and lets them know that as well. Just because you're approved for $300K doesn't mean you always want to purchase at $300K, you know, with where things are at. So, and then the other tip is, anybody looking to relocate, don't pay attention to this live. You do not have to shave your head. I noticed during this that all of us men on this are bald. It's not a requirement here. So it does help though, because, you know, you don't have the heat of the hair.
It is a little hot here.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's not a requirement.
Yeah, it's too hot for long hair, so, you know.
Alannah's halfway there.
I am. I'm as close as I can get and still have a little something.
Then it's Katey, and then it's me and Dana. My hair is actually kind of long. That's funny. And I totally agree with what you said, Tony. I think the phrase you're looking for is stay within your means.
Yes.
Right? Stay within your means.
Fiscal responsibility.
Don't want to be house poor.
No.
House poor. And nobody want to be in the poor house. So
Oh.
don't be house poor. Dana, go ahead.
Hi, Dana Mainenti, Guarantee Rate Affinity. Yes, we definitely want to have some extra money after you buy your home, because there are so many different things to do in this area. You definitely want to be able to enjoy all of the great fun things around. So my tip, just to reiterate what I said earlier, is if you are employed right now and you are needing that money, that income to pay your bills once you move, please make sure that your company can either let you work remotely, or you could transfer, or you've already accepted a position in the new neighborhood that you're going to move to, because without a job, you don't have a mortgage. All right, thank you. And I might shave my head, it's just a thought. I've either stayed inside for the majority of the summer, or I'm breaking out the razor, just saying that.
Phenomenal anyway, though.
Can't get rid of,
Do it.
long
Do
hair.
it.
Now I'm
Can't
feeling
get rid of
peer
long hair.
pressure. Like I've got to shave my head. I'm just gonna get a bald cap and say I did.
We can make it for charity. If we're going to do it, we may as well have a great cause behind it.
Look at there's the charity that Katey was talking about. So many charities we're just giving here. We're
It just got
next week's call.
How about I organize that for you? You guys can all shave your heads and stuff.
Oh, all right. I'll do it for the right
Listen,
cause.
I've been growing this hair out since for like 10 years, so not.
Wait, I want to get my tip in. Can I get my tip in?
Yes, I was just about to say I want to go.
All right, cool. So Alannah with the Dean's List Group at EXP Realty. I just wanted to share my tip today, which is gonna just dovetail off of my little chat earlier. Be decisive. Be prepared. Have your team before you get here. Don't get yourself here, be staying with a friend and decide that you want to buy a house, get a job, and get yourself situated with a mortgage. That is not the order of operations. And if you have a professional you're already talking to, they will absolutely corroborate that. So, and when you are ready and you do have that team finding that perfect place, you need to be ready to move now. You need to be ready to move earlier that day. And I don't mean move as in get here. I mean move as in move on paperwork. If you love it, put in an offer today, the same day you see it, because otherwise it may not be there.
Absolutely. My top tip is going to be realistic. So always be realistic in whatever you're doing. Know that the professionals that you're working with are trying to help you, especially if you're working with any of the professionals on here, because all of them are amazing. And to that note, you guys can find and contact any of the amazing local professionals on the description of this video. So make sure that you reach out to them because they are rock stars and I highly recommend them. I'm so glad you guys come on every week. Is there any announcements that anyone has? Peter kind of threw an announcement at us earlier about a house that he had, but is there anyone else that has any announcements?
I have an announcement. I just wanted to throw something else back in there.
Sure.
I want people to understand that, you know, whether you're buying a house or whether you're renting, they're all looking for the highest and best. And I know that everybody wants to get a good deal. And as professionals, we're going to kind of guide you as to what you should be paying. But you got to keep in mind that you can't always submit the lowest offer because that is going to guarantee that you'll be homeless. So you have to keep in mind that there's other people, there's a lot of competition, like Katey would say, there's competition. So you have to be mindful of that and be realistic. So that is my other tip for today.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, hey, can I throw in one more, Lucy?
Yeah.
So,
Hit us.
so I hear this all the time, folks. I'm going to move down here and rent for a year before I buy. Can I just throw out what a terrible idea that is? Our rental market is a hot mess. The availability is just not there. It was 10 years ago. It's not now. So when we tell you that, it's not because we're trying to sell you a house, which is our job is to be professionals in that market, but that is not why we tell you that. We tell you that because very genuinely, people think that they want to rent for a year for two reasons. First reason, because they don't know the area yet and they want to shop around, which is a choice, makes perfect sense. You can also buy a house and sell it again. That's the first bit. The second reason people would prefer to rent is because they want to get their credit score higher. They want to get all of their ducks lined up. And let me tell you, your credit score matters just as much, if not more, for a rental than it will for a purchase. And if you're okay with dropping an average of $26,000 for a year's worth of rent before you purchase, have a really close look at that number because I didn't just make that up. That is the reality.
Amen.
Think about buying.
Okay, Alannah. I'm just
On this call, like several weeks ago, who was it who said, you know, take that fistful of money?
Oh, Brenda.
Throw it out the window.
Throw it out the window.
Exactly what they're doing.
Drive down 95 and just make it rain. You are throwing your money away. If you are renting right now, unfortunately, if you qualify for a mortgage and you are well suited to be a homeowner, you need to be, because you're just making it rain on 95. Essentially, you're throwing your money away with renting. That's my personal opinion, and there are statistics to back it up.
I've heard from the experts. The experts say that now is the time to buy and hold, not hold up to buy. So, yeah.
I have something to add also, and this is actually going to go towards everybody who's living here right now and possibly deciding to sell their home. Keep that forbearance that you may or may not have taken in mind. Also, with people that are renting, please keep in mind that those stopped rents are going to have to be paid up at some point in time. So please start making your plans now, because more than likely within the next few weeks, there are going to be some people asking when you're going to be repaying those payments. And if you're trying to sell a house, and I'm pretty sure that the lenders here would agree with me, if you're trying to sell a house and you have a forbearance on your house, you're going to have an issue. The same thing if you're trying to purchase a home and you still owe 3 or 4 months rent, you are going to have an issue. So please keep all of that in mind and be safe and stay healthy out there, guys.
Awesome. And Katey, didn't you have something you wanted to share?
Oh, yeah, sure. So Codi Fletcher is actually going to be hosting an open house at our 1061 Gardens Boulevard in Palm City. We had a introduction to 549.9. I'll just put that in there for you, Codi. We will be open Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. If I could have a few minutes of your time, I'd like to share some really good resources that are available online to all of the realtors and to the mortgage lenders and to the general public, the buyers, sellers, renters as well. Our community is really special. There is a welcome guide from Port St. Lucie that was just released. And that is available on City of Port St. Lucie, or excuse me, cityofpsl.com. This has all sorts of fantastic information about the community, and that, you know, Port St. Lucie says that they are a city for all ages, you know, kind of going back to the point that we were making about age groups. So when I was in the Realtor Association Leadership Academy, we put together a series of awesome area specific videos, and they're each about 1.5 minutes long. So let me know if you don't want to watch them all, but these are so visually appealing. They really are a very good attractor to our area.
Oh.
There's the art shows,
Yeah.
sailing center. There's so much here.
Move with us. Move with us.
Move with us. Come move with us.
Move with us.
So this is one of a handful of videos that are available on YouTube. If you just search "Move with Us," Martin, it'll pop up on your search. And there are a series. There's one for golf. There's one for sea and surf. There's one for the Explore with Us, the activities in the area for all ages. So there's some really good videos there, and all the realtors and lenders, and you can share these videos. They're all available on YouTube, and we spent a really good amount of time putting together all those visuals so that you can kind of get a little feel of what our community has to offer in like 1.5 minutes.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to add that to our YouTube playlist on Arrow Title Services. So,
and I have an idea for you before you do that. So let's chat.
okay. Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, with that, I think that was a great little end to our week. And again, this is Thursday's Top Tips in Real Estate. We come on live every Thursday at 2 p.m. with local real estate experts, realtors, and lenders, and they share with you their top tips of the week with a new topic. So make sure you guys stay tuned on the Arrow Title Services page, and you can always watch the replays on our YouTube channel. So I hope you guys are having an amazing rest of your week, and we will see you next week.
Thank
Bye,
you
everyone.
so much, Lucie. Thank you.